Honoring George Washington would have seemed a priority for the nation upon his death in 1799. He had served as the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army and as the first president. The United States Congress had authorized a suitable memorial to be included with the ongoing Washington D.C. construction that had been in process since 1791. The presidential election of 1800 changed everything. The Democratic-Republican Party, led by Thomas Jefferson, prevailed in the voting and took control of Congress. Washington had symbolized their political rival, the Federalist Party. Many of Jefferson's contemporaries felt hostile towards the concept of honoring powerful men, particularly Washington. The new Congress reversed their predecessor's decision to commemorate him. They prevented his image from being used on coins or currency and even banned the celebration of his birthday. Amongst the previous tributes envisioned included a tomb erected within the Capitol building, accompanied by his crypt below the rotunda of the dome. Two obstacles thwarted this proposal. The first was a lack of funding, and the second was the Washington's family's reluctance to relocate his body from Mount Vernon. Over 30 years would pass before a citizenry group formed an organization called the Washington National Monument Society. They raised significant donations and announced a competition for the memorial design. They stated lofty expectations for the construction. The design competition began in 1836. Architect Robert Mills was selected with the winning entry in 1845. He was reputed to be the first native-born American to be professionally trained as an architect. Both the obelisk and pillar would be hollow inside with an upwardly spiraling railway. On the top of the base of the building, a sculptural work of Washington would be standing in a chariot holding the reins of 6 horses. The interior of the colonnade would feature 30 Revolutionary War sculpted heroes, along with the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence. Mills' design was considered audacious, ambitious, and unprecedented. The first phase was begun in 1848, privately funded. The cornerstone was laid on July 4th with an estimated 20,000 people in attendance. Builders first began work on the blue gneiss foundation, an 80-foot square step pyramid. Upon the completion of the substructure, the above-ground marble structure rose 55 feet. The structure inched forward until 1854, when the monument reached 156 feet above ground. 2 impediments then stalled construction. The Washington National Monument Society went bankrupt in 1854. Robert Mills died the following year, never seeing his most renowned project to fruition. For over the next 2 decades, monument construction stagnated. The response invoked ridicule and became a national embarrassment. Congress attempted to intervene but failed due to conflicting issues. Their priorities drifted away from the partially completed obelisks towards clamors advocating regional secessionism and then civil war. Following the completion of the war and the turbulent era of Reconstructionism, Congress resumed their efforts to finish the Washington Monument. In 1876, Congress passed a funding bill. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, headed by Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Lincoln Casey, were assigned to complete the construction. Casey's first task was to strengthen the support at the base of the foundation that he determined was inadequate. The fortification required 4 years. At the 470-foot level, the contractors began angling buttresses inward to support a 300-ton marble pyramidion at the top. On a windy December 6, 1884 day, the capstone was lifted through one of the windows and hoisted to the top of the monument. A 9-inch aluminum tip was then placed atop the capstone to act as a lightning rod. The aluminum cap featured inscriptions of notable names and dates involved with the project. Inscribed facing the sun, the Latin words Laus Deo were inscribed, translating into Praise be to God. The completed Washington Monument reigned for 5 years as the world's tallest building.